Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om. Hari Om to everybody.
Hari Om Swamiji. Pranam Swami.
Pranam, pranam.
Pranam Swamiji.
Pranam, pranam, pranam.
Hari Om Swamiji.
Hari Om, Hari Om.
Pranam Swamiji. Namaste Swamiji.
So what is to be shared today?
Swamiji, at the feet of God, you solved.
At the feet of God, then we were discussing that when we try to go within through Mauna or such disciplines, there emerges a constant dialogue between us and Him. The sense of individuality is talking to the power because of which the sense of individuality exists. That is what is portrayed at the feet of God. So now our attempt should be now to somehow take to this inward journey. In one of his articles, Papa says, he says, you are here to play your own part. Play it well. At the same time, be conscious that your inner self is witnessing the play. Inwardly be the detached witness, while outwardly you play your allotted part. You are here to play your own part. Play it well. At the same time, be conscious that your inner self is witnessing the play. Inwardly, be the detached witness, while outwardly, you play your allotted part. Now, how to become conscious of the inner self then? At the moment, the individual does not accept the life as a part to be played. All of us. We feel that our life started with us only. And therefore, playing the part does not arise. Think. The moment we think about our life, we start with our life. God does not come there. When you go to the Guru, he says they are all some academic knowledge, intellectual knowledge. That is why immediately after the satsang or any discipline, we are clearly back to square one. This blunt truth we have to realize. When you say playing the part, this is, do we really feel that? I will be able to feel it as a play only when the witness emerges. Then it's a play. And Papa again clarifies this. What Ramdas says may or may not be believed, but you must dive deep and realize the self. By hearing or the lecture, we will not be able to. Dive deep and realize. We cannot define truth, which is unthinkable, indescribable, indefinable. From the thought plane, we cannot realize it. Truth is silence. The best way you can express the truth is by means of silence. When Ramdas thinks of his experience of that high state, he is struck dumb. Still, he is made to talk about it so that interest may be created in the people to search for it. So, whatever Papa talks about inward journey, it is only to touch and kindle the interest in us. Ramdas is here and goes everywhere to lay before those interested in this attainment his own experience of the path that led him to his realization. He knows that the goal, after reaching it, cannot be described. Others must experience it for themselves. But he can definitely say that the absolute does exist because his own experience goes to confirm. He can say only definitely that it is only by reaching the absolute that this life of bondage is set free for attaining the state of happiness and peace of the eternal. So in this, two, three things. One is we have to, every one of us has to, nobody can help from others. Nobody can help from outside. We all know that, no, we have been hearing so many such quotations, but what happened to us? Because we have not still accepted the whole thing as a play. We feel it is genuine. Our life is genuine. Here comes the relevance of Mauna session. Because it facilitates to gradually become aware of the Atman, witnessing the play of our senses, mind, functions of the body, breathing. When he says inner witness, the Atman witnessing internally and outwardly playing the part. How am I to know the first? So we shut off our activities, we close our eyes, observe silence, and start watching. Watching the senses. When we close our eyes, the activity of the eyes are limited, but we will hear some sound so that we know we are hearing. Some ant or a mosquito touches some part of the body, immediately we know that we experience that. When we go for walking meditation, eating meditation, the movement is being witnessed, eating is being witnessed. That is how we slowly train ourselves to start witnessing. Think about it. Papa wanted us to know you are here to play your own part. Play it well. At the same time, be conscious that your inner self is witnessing the play. How to become conscious of that? No? Inwardly be the detached witness, while outwardly you play your allotted part. How to become conscious of the inner self watching it? So here comes the relevance of Mauna session. The moment we hear the word Mauna session, we need not think we are sitting throughout the day. They are all training us. But every now and then, whenever we get a pause moment, we can try that. Not to be tried only during the declared Mauna session. No. Of course, to give a boost, we observe 1 day Maun, or 2 days Maun, or weeks Maun. It is not to be limited to those periods. So first, just like our chanting, first we did not know. We were enjoying, so we chanted. Now a stage comes when Papa says, you should feel that he is making you to chant. Similarly, we were all observing Maun. Not that Maun we are only now. But then it was only to calm the mind, to make it serene, peaceful. We did not add anything to it. Because after the Mauna session, we are back to square one. The sense of individuality remains intact. Now Papa is slowly guiding us that the purpose of Mauna session is to witness. So that ultimately, everything is being witnessed by that witness. and the sense of individuality is playing its part, allotted role. This is very subjective. Please think over it. So during the Mauna session, we start observing the senses, and then the mind, functions of the body, breathing. This witnessing may not stay longer, and often the mind will go to various sense objects or persons and situations, even in a Mauna session. To bring it back during the Mauna session, we resort to mental chanting. How does it help? It helps us to hear the chanting, witness. The attempts are now to witness our senses, functions of the body, mind. It will start, but after a few seconds or minutes, it will go. It will go to various persons, objects, and situations. Immediately, the moment we become aware of it, we try to start mental chanting. When we keep on chanting, effort is made to hear the chanting. Hearing the mental chanting gives us a glimpse of that witnessing again. There is no shortcut. Again, we have to repeat. Senses, body, mind, breathing, then mental chanting, and prayer, deep from the depth of the heart. If you are not there, I am not there. But this fact I don't know. Only intellectually I know. The moment I start dealing with men and matters, it does not come. Only the individuality comes. So then we thought we would recede from all activities. We will not react with the individuals and matters. So we are close to the door, and we are sitting now, closing our. Now kindly reveal, please. Immediately the mind takes us to so many things. So again we start watching. It will be playing hide and seek, and then probably by His grace we might be blessed with witnessing the senses, our mind, our body, our breathing. We employ any technique, watching the heartbeat, watching the blood circulation. What is it that makes me to think now? What is it that makes my senses active? Something like that. Any method that suits us. Papa here, he has specifically said each one has to work out. So this need not be taken as the final one. He specifically said that each one has to, others must experience it for themselves. What Ramdas says may or may not be believed, but you must dive deep and realize the self. We cannot define truth which is unthinkable, indescribable, undefinable. From the thought plane, we cannot realize it. Truth is silence. The best way you can express the truth is by means of silence. And silence, everybody knows, it's an outcome of Mauna session. See now how he is driving us. From the superficial or outward act, chanting and bhajan and prayer reading, these are all outward activities. Why, in spite of that, it is not making any dent in my life, impact in my life? Now I start realizing it. Jajastali he manajaya maje, all those things we say that. In the prayer also we say that, now and hear that word. I have surrendered myself entirely at you. All those things we say that, but it's not, it has nothing to do with the reality. So now we are seriously thinking. All those we will be able to live up to it only when we dive deep within ourselves. After hearing this, not that we have to stop anything. That all we continue, because that is taking us now. We are grateful for that discipline also. If that prayer Mataji had not introduced, how will we discuss about that today? If Omkarji Maharaj's prayer was not introduced, how will we come to know about now and here? If universal prayer is not read by us, how will we know that every day we are committing, that we are surrendering? Not a part, entirely. So all these things are valid, we will continue to do it. But at the same time, now with a little more attention. I am unable to experience, please, why don't you make me to feel? You are making me to commit myself, but I am incapable of, so far I have not been able to do it. And so then Papa tells us that we have to experience it by ourselves. And it can be expressed only through silence, not words. And so we try these Maunam sessions, so that we gradually become aware of the Atman witnessing the play of our senses, body, mind, intellect, breathing. Suppose we say we will count 10 times of our breathing. It's a good exercise. Because after the 10th, when the counting is over, suddenly you realize the mind has not gone anywhere else. And some experience we have. So during the Mauna session, why all these things are recommended? Now we understand. When he say dive deep into yourself, how am I to dive deep? There is no surface here. So this could be one of the methods. Counting 10 times of our breathing, where the mind is totally engaged, not going anywhere in one particular act. These are all the ways by which we are trying to tame or discipline the mind. Why Papa is giving us now? We feel that now that he has made us he has initiated these Mauna sessions. He wants us to make it as effective as possible. Otherwise, it may also slip into an activity. It is not an activity. It is the diving deep. Because now we are at least serious in our commitment that we should touch. We will come back again. So that is this quotation takes it. You are here to play your own part. Play it well. At the same time, be conscious that your inner self is witnessing the play. Inwardly, be the detached witness, while outwardly, you play your allotted part. So, Mauna session should lead us to this. Otherwise, we are sitting here, we are doing something else. Again, it becomes the object or the ideal may not be very clear to us. Through this quotation, he is making it very, very clear. You are here to play your own part. Play it well. At the same time, be conscious that your inner self is witnessing the play. Inwardly, be the detached witness. Outwardly, you play the allotted part. That means in all our activities, it comes to stay. Not that we have to go within every time. This state, this balance, cycle balance, this balance we have to get now. Even now, while hearing or talking or while seeing, this activity is going on. He is making us to play the part and himself remaining there witnessing it. He is himself making us to play the part. At the same time, he is witnessing it. When Ramdas thinks of his experience of the high state, he is struck dumb, cannot express. Still, he is made to talk about it so that the interest may be created in the people to search for it. Ramdas is here and goes everywhere to lay before those interested in this attainment his own experience of the path that led him to realization. He knows that the goal after reaching it cannot be described to others. Others must experience it for themselves. So we employ different method. Every day we can try 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Watching the senses, watching the bodily actions, watching the mind, watching the breathing. By this process, the identification of the body and mind, me and mind might get lessened. We don't know, we have to try. And the glimpse of the inner self, the watcher, the witness consciousness might be experienced. Once the glimpse is tasted, the effort is to make it stay for a longer time until it becomes a part of our life. So these are the steps. Walking meditation and resorting to manual labor during the Maunas day might also enable the participant to keep up the tempo of linking with the habit of meditation, with the habit of witnessing everything, although all through the waking state. Because otherwise it becomes compartmentalized, you can feel it only when you withdraw, So that is why we are prompted now to combine this walking meditation and from the next onwards, at least 1 hour or 45 minutes, some bodily labor. So that we can try. Suppose we are making arrangements for planting. The pot has to be collected, soil, sand, cattle manure, dry, powdered. Then we try to mix it, and then we fill it. We also try to collect some mulches. Suppose this is the karma yoga we take, activity we take. Previously, when we were doing it, honestly, we will be doing it, concentrate with total concentration, we will be doing it. But we have omitted the witnessing part. Here now we will also try to witness. Walking we are all doing. But during the walking, at least some moments, we will watch our own walking. How the one leg goes up, the other one goes down, other one goes up, other one goes down. How the center of gravity is maintained, how it does not allow us to fall. And then we are asked to watch the tree, the bushes, the flower, the plants, and suddenly we see how still they are. When we try to feel the stillness in that tree, the stillness in us is kindled. So it is not Mauna session sitting alone. We are doing through various methods of how this body acts, mind acts, senses act, breathing acts. At the same time, there is a witnessing. The first what Papaya said. So walking meditation and resorting to manual labor during the Mauna day might also enable the participant to keep up the tempo of linking with the habit of witnessing everything all through the waking state. During walking meditation, mindfully watching every step, every tree, every plant, every bush, the practice will gradually hasten the process of feeling the watcher within and slowly stretching the same even while one is actively engaged in any type of activity. Because elsewhere Papa says, spiritual life does not mean only sitting silently by ourselves in a state of meditation. That practice can grant us a state of internal liberation, But we must live out our life in coordination, in consonance with the supreme ideal. Then only it will result in real liberation. Sitting is okay, primary. At the same time, we should be conscious, why we are sitting. Throughout our life, we cannot be sitting in Mauna. We have to be active. We have to be talking. So we try to get a technique, evolve a technique suitable for us that will stay with us throughout our life. Why, he made us to think about all these things? From October onwards, the prompting came that we will have 1 day Mauna session every month, second Sunday. 12th happens to be our Puja Swamiji's Samadhi day, who was an embodiment of silence, And 13th, we have this Mauna session. Last time, we were not quite comfortable because the Guru Purnima day and session, it was on the same day. Some people were attending Mauna session, others were attending this thing. And being an organization, we follow certain legacies, so we have to keep on shuttling between here and there. So that was a lesson. So then we were prompted, yes, don't have it on the same day. If there is a day which is nearing that, you have it separately, so that everybody can participate and everybody can attend the usual important days also. So that is why 12th we are not taking it up. 12th we will try to dwell on. But this aspect will definitely. Previously we were revering Puja Swamiji with so many attributes. Now we will know an additional attribute, no? Because he was, throughout his life, he was trying to get stabilized in this. According to what he himself has revealed in 2003, he was trying to get stabilized in it. As soon as I talk, I come down to the individual level. That's what he has said. So it was a clear cut, we were all seeing that. So we were thinking that he is observing more. It was not like that. He was going, delving deep and deep into it. When somebody comes, he is asking his mind to say, it is floating in consciousness and floating in God. And when he comes, the God is also prompting him to watch the floating like that. But when the other party starts talking and when he starts replying, he says, he comes down to again. So the struggle is there, but the struggle is not painful. So all these things again come back to us on 12th. So he could do that, observing silence in most of his time and employing it to go deep down, not merely observing silence. God blessed him with that inherent nature. Many people are there, no? Those who talk less, but they do that. They do everything perfectly. Many are there. Many are there. Their nature is not to talk. But whether we are in a position to go within. Spiritual life does not mean only sitting silently by ourselves in a state of meditation. That practice can grant us a state of internal liberation, but we must live out our life in coordination, in consonance with the Supreme Ideal, identifying Him everywhere. not merely sitting. Now we understand when Papa said, Ramdas does not want anyone only to lead a contemplative life. He had that experience, he came out. And he became the perennial inspiration to many, 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 many. Had he resorted to a cave, probably we may not be sitting here at all. Same case happened with Puja Mataji. She was able to go within, get stabilized, came out of it, and started leading a life where she could make us to understand what is absence of otherness, how to become a mother of all those things. And dynamic, active, the whole ashram activities. She had charted, she had monitored. So the idea is, when we take up this Mauna session, let us be very clear about it, very, very clear about it. It is not to recede from any activity, though we recede from activity in the initial stages, but we come out with a different mindset. So these are all the thoughts which we wanted to share. For the past 2-3 days, he made us to go to all these quotations. You are here to play your own part. Play it well. At the same time, be conscious that your inner self is witnessing the play. Inwardly be detached, be the detached witness, while outwardly you play your allotted part. Does anybody want to say anything? Everybody can read this?
Yes, Swami. Yes, Swami. Yes, Swamiji. Yes, Swamiji.
Anybody would like to say anything about this?
It is to be experienced, Swamiji. What can I say?
Correct. So we need not restrict to the walking, to this session. Whenever we walk, we can try. Whenever we do anything also, we can try, Probably, I think we have to try now itself, so that on the 13th, when we sit for this thing, it might help us. By the time we would have trained our mind to some extent. That means right from today, when we start doing it, whenever we are reminded about it through remembrance, any act that we do, we try to consciously do it. Probably not for a longer time. Not throughout our walking time, but some time in the walking. Suppose we try to practice this, and when we sit for a Mauna session, it might help us, because we are not raw. Something we have done. The refinement can take place at that time. So first he pushed us to observe a day sign, and he facilitated. Now the second one is to make it little more effective. For that now he is giving all these thoughts. Prepare yourself. Study leave, then when we appear for the exam. Intensely we go through the portions and prepare ourselves for the exam. Similarly, we have got 2.5 months. We can try that. Even by chanting, we can try to watch our own chanting. Even while we do bhajan, we can chant, we can watch our own bhajan, at least for a short time, while we are walking, while we are hearing, while we are attending to the telephone calls. Nobody will know, no? It is purely our internal. So that, we are trying to become aware. That quotation was, you are here to play your own part, play it well. At the same time, be conscious that your inner self is witnessing the play. Inwardly, be the detached witness, while outwardly, you play your allotted part. And then, suppose for the next 2.5 months, suppose we try this, our mind would be behaving or cooperating with us to some extent. So it will become more and more effective. And next month in November, when we sit, a little more refined. So that means we are moving toward the ultimate goal. Which is what Papa Mataji wants us to. So watching, observing. Even if the period ever so small. By the time we meet on Wednesday, probably he might bring more. We don't know. Absolutely, we have no idea. But he is not now leaving us from this concentrated effort to go within. He seems to be plugging all loopholes, not allowing it to go anywhere else. Mysterious. Because whatever revelations he had, experiences he had, for the sake of all of us, he has revealed. And it has come in many of his books. Nobody knows where exactly it is. But now he is making us to go identify that, dwell upon it, and then share it all. So that process will definitely help us in making it go inward, inward, inward. It could also be with the objective that we should be clear about the goal to be. So far, none of us are clear about the goal. We are doing as a part of our activity. 3:30 to 4:30, there is a session. Other session, either session, other session, that's all. They are all part of our daily routine, that's all. Ideal, the goal. Initially, we were probably a little bit more clear about the goal, but later on, it got diluted. Either in the seva activities or took uppermost or something like that. Or our me and mine was getting stronger and stronger. Something had happened. Unknowingly, we were getting attached with our routine. And that gave us some sentimental satisfaction. No doubt. To what extent it has taken us to help us to go near the goal. Are we aware of the goal? Are we committed to that goal? These questions we have to ask ourselves. That is why very often he makes us to think that we should start from where they started, not from where they ended. The various processes through which they were subjected to go through brought out the outcome. In Papa's case, the realized soul. We are looking at the form of a realized soul. We will not be able to reach it. But suppose we go from Vittal Rao's play, 1920 to 1922, the struggle, and from 1922, what all he did, meditated and chanted. First he said meditated, that aspect, all those things will be clear only when we go from where he started. He was not chanting. First he did not even say chanting, meditated. The first page of Inquest of God. And then later on he said meditated and chanted. So what was meant by meditation? That also we did not know. Then slowly it is opening up. What that name stands for, That is why he told Swamiji, if you chant properly the name, you will not have any doubts. That was from his experience. So kindly bring all these things into our mind deep. Let us see what he is going to reveal on the Wednesday. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram,
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram,
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram,
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Pranam, 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 Pranam.
Namaskaram, Swamiji.
Namaskaram, Namaskaram, Namaskaram.
Namaskaram, Swamiji.
Namaskaram.
Pranam, Swamiji.
Hari Om. Pranam, 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 Pranam. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om.
അവിടെ ഭയങ്കര മഴയാണ്. ലാൻഡ് സ്ലൈഡിൻ്റെ പോസിബിലിറ്റി ഉണ്ട് നമ്മളെ കോമ്പൗണ്ടിൽ. ഈ ഓഗസ്റ്റ് മാസം മുഴുവൻ മഴയാണ്, സിവിയർ റേറ്റ്സാണ്. അങ്ങനെ യൂട്യൂബിൽ കാണാറുണ്ട്, യൂട്യൂബിൽ എനിക്ക് കാണാറുണ്ട്. ഇന്ന് രാവിലെ ഇന്നലെ വായിച്ചതേ ഉള്ളൂ ഗോഡ് എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് ബുക്കിൽ. When anybody realizes Atman, they are silent. They cannot have this.